Good morning, sir. My topic is all about rubbers. There are two types of rubbers: synthetic rubber and natural rubber. A synthetic rubber is an artificial elastomer. They are polymer synthesized from petroleum byproducts. Natural rubber. Natural rubber is obtained from the sap or gum of the rubber trees. Ito naman po yung nakukuha nating dagta or katas sa rubber tree. Tinatawag din po itong latex at ito po ay kulay puti at malagkit. Once coagulated, the solid mass undergoes various processes such as washing, rolling, pressing, or drying before being sent off further processing into different forms including sheet or pellets that can be used in tire manufacturing. How are rubber tire made? First, raw material such as natural rubber and various chemicals are mixed together in a large machine called a Banbury mixer. This mixture is heated to the high temperature, which causes it become a sticky compound that can be molded into different shapes. Sa Banbury mixer, dito hinahalo ang natural rubber at iba pang chemical. Habang naghahalo, pinapainitan ito ng mataas na temperatura upang maging madikit at mamold sa ibang shape. Next, the compound is shaped into long strips or sheets and fed through rollers that compress it to remove any air pockets. These sheets are then cut into pieces of the desired size using special machines. The tire building process involves creating a green tire by constructing rubber layers around an inner liner, then placing it in a mold for vulcanization using heat and pressure. After vulcanization, excess materials from the edges of the tire is trimmed using trimmer machine. Each tire undergoes to the quality control test before being sent out for use on vehicles.
A tire is round and it is black. However, if you examined all the manufacturing stages, you would realize what a complex product lies beneath its plain exterior. In actual fact, leaving the natural and synthetic rubbers aside, more than 200 different materials are combined to manufacture the tire that we know so well. There is carbon black, silica, and sulfur, plasticizers, vulcanizing agents. But there are also cords, a lot of cords, which in fact can be either steel or fabric such as polyester and Kevlar. These different raw materials are used to produce a wide variety of components. Flat or profile products, steel cord or fabric plies, and also bead wire. These components give the tire its elastic properties, ensure its resistance to wear, provide adhesion, and determine its service life. It all begins on the tire building drum, which is a rotating cylinder with a flexible center so that its edges can be brought closer to each other. You'll see why in a minute. A thin, perfectly airtight sheet of synthetic rubber must first be laid down on the drum. This will act as an inner tube inside the finished tire. The second layer is called the casing ply. Why? Because it contains the framework of parallel fabric cord, which we call the casing. This assembly is the vital substructure and consequently a key component in the radial tire. Set tightly against strips of profiled rubber are two high-resistant steel wire hoops, which are known as the bead wires. They hold the tire firmly on its rim. The casing ply is then folded up over the bead wires to hold them securely in place. Other components are added with the same degree of accuracy. Some tires have dozens of them. But don't worry, we'll not describe them all in detail. However, take a look at the sidewalls. They are made of rubber, both flexible and tough, to protect the tire from side impact. Then, by inflating the central part of the drum, its edges are brought closer to each other. The tire is shaped. The reinforcing tread plies providing directional stability and mechanical resistance have yet to be added. Fine but highly resistant steel cord strengthens these plies. Being laid crosswise to the casing ply, it forms shape-retaining triangles. Now it's time to lay down the tread rubber. It is this part of the tire which will have a tread pattern and will be in contact with the road surface. The unfinished tire is then put into the curing mold, which has all the tire markings and the tread pattern. A curing bladder filled with hot pressurized water forces the rubber back into the mold cavities. The hot water and steam around the mold start the curing process. This curing, or vulcanization, chemically bonds the rubber compounds to the steel and fabric cord reinforcement components. During this chemical reaction, the tire goes from a plastic to an elastic state. Sometime later, the transformation is complete and the tire emerges from its metal shell. The tire has been given its final features and finished shape.
Michelin, a better way forward.
Five main components. It takes several machines to shape the rubber into the individual components of the tire: treads, belt, beads, sidewall, and inner liner. Inner liner, the innermost layer of a tire. Starting on the inside is the inner liner. It is a thin airtight layer of rubber designed to keep the air inside the tire. A good inner liner will help maintain your tire pressure, which will help lengthen the life of your tires. Belts. The next layer is made of parallel steel belts, which provide a substructure for the tire, giving it strength and stability. These belts are important for the handling and longevity of the tire. Tread. The outside layer of your tire is called the tread. This is patterned rubber layer that we see that comes in contact with the road. There are many different treads, designs, and the pattern will depend on the type of tire and what it is intended for. Sidewalls. On either side of that tire you have sidewalls. The sidewalls are made of a stiff rubber that protects your tire from curbs or other damaging aspects. The sidewall also contains information about the tire, the size, load index, and speed rating are all printed on sidewall. Bead. On each sidewall, you will find what is called bead of the tire. The bead is made of a mix of wire and rubber materials that are meant to hold the tire into the wheel. It creates a seal around the rim of the wheel, preventing air from escaping. Thank you.